Today we're going to be doing a little experiment. We have three very different cameras. First, we have the iPhone 15. This can shoot ProRes, and the image actually looks pretty darn good. We've used some footage from this in some high-end videos we've done, and no one's noticed. Okay, next we have the Canon C70 with a 24 to 70 millimeter lens. This is a really quick run and gun setup for a single shooter, but the image is fantastic. You can make this thing look incredible. And then finally, we have the Alexa 35. This camera is worth over $100,000. It's used on some of the biggest movies in the world. It has the most dynamic range of any camera ever made, and the best color, according to Arri, which has the best color, according to all of the Academy Awards they've won for Best Cinematography. This is indisputable stuff. Right here we have a 100 millimeter T2 anamorphic lens, which will give this a real cinematic look. We will be doing three different lighting setups here in this space. First, with the iPhone, what I want to do is no lights at all. Just completely natural lighting, maybe sitting by the window, trying to make it look as good as possible while using no equipment. Then with the C70, this would be a realistic setup we're gonna do. We're going to use just one light. And this would just be a run and gun setup with just one person. How good can we make this space look with Lynn? Then lastly, pulling out all the stops. We're going to film a setup with our best camera and as many lights as we think we need to make the setup look as good as possible. Watching this video today, you're really going to see how a space can completely change based on the kind of camera you're using and the kind of gear that's used. The looks are going to be completely different from each other, but it'll be up to you to choose what you think looks best. So let's start right now with just the iPhone 15. All right, here we are. We're going to film on the iPhone 15, and oh, I forgot to introduce Lynn. You all know Lynn. Thank you for coming. All right, let's move on. So first I want to find my frame, and I think you guys are gonna have to move. Get out of my way, come on. So what I'm going to try to find is a shot here where we have kind of a key light, and that window in the background there is gonna kind of be my main key light here. I am going to turn off the lights above us to get them totally dark. What I'm gonna do over here is I'm gonna open up this window as much as I can. That way we've got some natural light coming in. If I had to film with just the iPhone, a window like this is so helpful. This is filmed in the cinematic mode on the iPhone. All right, here's ProRes now. Which one do you think looks better, cinematic or ProRes? Really quickly here, before we move on to the next cameras, I want to get out the Alexa 35 and film the exact same setup here to see what it looks like with the better camera. So this is what it looks like on the Alexa 35 right out of the box. And I had to go to 1600 ISO to be able to make this look good. Yeah, what do you guys think? This is the iPhone and this is the Alexa 35. Okay, this is the setup with the C70. This is just one light. So because we already had this key light coming from over here, and you can see what it looks like with it and without it. Now, because we only had one light, we decided to put it in this back room. So I'm going to go turn it on and off and let you see what it looks like with and without it. This is the Amaran 200D at 25% power, and this is off. And this is on. You can see here as well that Lynn has this hair light coming from the background, which looks nice. And you can see I'm blocking the light there, the difference it makes. That was the best we could do in this setup with one light with the C70. And next, we want to pull out all the stops. We're gonna use our big camera and see what that looks like. Okay, so this is our Alexa 35 setup with all of our lights, trying to make it look cinematic and moody and interesting, even though this room isn't very interesting to begin with, but we tried our best. There's a lot going on to talk about, so if you're interested in getting a look like this, then pay attention. So first, this is our key light setup. Behind here, I have two 600Ds, and they're both at about 50% power, shining onto this big, bright Ultra Bounce. Really all we're creating here with these key lights is a big soft source with some space between it and diffusion. So this is called magic cloth, and this is the diffusion. So the big soft light is coming through the big soft diffusion and getting softer until it hits her. This is an Aperture 600D, and this is simulating the sunlight coming through the window. And it's really illuminating part of the room there. You might recognize this Amaran 200D from earlier with the C70 test, but we just moved it forward and shined it through this little window here to make it look like the kitchen had more light streaming into it from another window. Two Aperture MC Pros under here, simulating just the kind of lights that people have underneath their cupboards to give a little bit of visual interest in the background, and we made them 3200 Kelvin instead of 5600 to kind of get that warm look. We have a couple different spotlights going on. This first spotlight is just hitting this background, giving a little bit of life to these appliances. This last spotlight is my favorite because it's hitting Lynn and it's acting like a strong light coming out of a window that's hitting her, but her face is still soft, and we were able to control this light. So it was just hitting her shoulder there and her hair, and I think it looks really nice. Up here we have a 4-foot tube light from Aperture. It's very dim. We are not very bright with this, and it's kind of pointing up towards the ceiling, but it is hitting her a little bit on the shoulders here. And of course, hazing the room was extremely important. It really helps raise the black levels and add more separation from Lynn in the background. It also makes the image look more painterly. This is the image with the haze, and this is the image without the haze. There's a big difference. And here's what the whole setup looks like when filmed on the iPhone 15. This is the Alexa 35, and this is both of them for comparison. Let us know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed this video and you want to watch more videos from this channel, Epic Light Media, please go ahead and watch our videos. For goodness sake, our videos are there to be watched. However, do not subscribe to this channel. We don't want any more subscribers. We want to see that subscriber number going down, not up. Thank you.